Yeah, it's loading. And we are live back with another installment of the Authority Hour, where our mission is to turn our brand authority into our greatest asset, while also facilitating that for all who see value in continuing to follow the movement. Ronnie, my brother, the visionary, the founder, the extraordinaire, RH Auto Brokers. My brother, how you feeling?
I feel good, man. How are you doing, Jesse? Thanks for the
Man,
introduction. That was very kind. You're a
yeah.
gentleman and a scholar.
Nah, bro. So look, man. Uh, I can't complain, man. I cannot complain. I every day I get to truly do what I love, and it's not work. And so I kid a little bit. There is a piece of it that's work, and that is reporting to the the folks within this the contract that I'm working. That part is work, but like the actual engagement with my clients, like driving that impact, nothing about that is work. So like you honestly couldn't pay me to complain, man. How has your week been from the last time that we convened?
Successful. It's been what I like to share is like I keep learning stuff. I'm learning new stuff. I'm training the other leaders on my team, which is fascinating to watch. Like I'm part of it. Like I'm just like in the middle and trying to help with answers and watching them act without me is becoming more and more fascinating. It's like like they need me, but they don't need me. It's like they're smart. They're smart people, man. Like they're smart, they're capable, they're intelligent, they're courageous, they are powerful. And then just watching them, I'm trying to empower them. So like, yeah, you can make this decision. You don't need me. Like it's great to see that happening.
So words matter, and I know I probably get on your nerves with this shit, but I can't help but to be me. Are you trying or are you doing?
I'm doing, yeah, I mean, that's the correct word. I'm doing it. you know, I grew up with that, Jesse. Why it hits so hard with me is you don't realize this, but I used to tell people that for like a decade. Like, there is no try. I my uncle did that to me a long time ago. Not my uncle, Kelvin. His name's Kelvin. Um, he basically was like, "How you doing in college?" And I said, "I'm trying." And he goes, "Oh, okay." He pulled the car over. He was driving a Cutlass. Remember the old Cutlass?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "Grab that beer and pick it up." So I picked it up. I said, "Then put it down." He said, "Don't pick it up." I said, "All right." Then he said, "Try to pick it up." And I went, he said, "You see, you can either do it or you don't. There is no try." It's a little bit different than Yoda. Yoda said the same thing.
I love it.
Try,
Was that Uncle
try not,
Juice?
try not, do or do not. There is no try.
Was that Uncle Juice?
No, that was Kelvin. I called him an uncle, but he's more of a cousin to me, but older cat, older than me a little bit, and more wise, and would freely drop game on me all the time that I was just picking up pieces. Like, so he owned his own architecture firm. He was a UVA trained architect and owned his own architecture firm in my hometown of Lynchburg, Virginia. And so when I would go home, I would hang out in his building that he owned. The
How did
bottom
that
floor,
influence you?
I mean, I got to see it. Like the bottom floor was foosball table, poker tables, ping pong, pool table, like, and then he had booth seating. And then you go up another floor and you're on the main architectural firm for clients. And then you go up another floor and that was the residence. It was like, wow, for me to go back, and he allowed me to hang out with him, and I always enjoyed the game he would drop on me. Um, so it made a big difference, dude. Like being around people like that um, formed my brain. Like the try or try not. Like you tell me that. I mean, you're right. I should stop using it. Like I don't know how I got back to doing that, but he would drop that on me. I mean, all the time.
Man, that's
Are you
fire.
doing it or
So
not?
that
You know?
that no, that's real. So when you think about the lessons that you've picked up this week, what would you say has been your most fundamental takeaway and lesson from the last time that we convened?
That like I'm working on this week, I think just being patient and waiting for the answers to come to me. Like, it's different. Like when you own a business and you're trying to grow stuff, you want to drive and push. It's okay if the other people come up with the answers. Just wait and be patient. And it's not natural for me. I usually like to be in the driver's seat, but I'm finding it very fun to be in the back seat.
Oh man, bro. So the thing about what I've chosen as a career path for myself is there isn't a single day that I'm not profoundly learning when I'm engaging with my clients. Like I am legitimately like really learning whole new things every single day. You know what I mean? And it's the refreshing part of it is because I live by the warrior ethos of when we stop learning, we stop living, we stop growing, like we just existing. So the fact that I don't live a life of existence because I'm constantly being challenged to think outside of the norm, I'm constantly being challenged to think about the best way to articulate whatever it is that I'm thinking. I'm constantly challenged to take the otherwise statement that I would have made and frame it into a question to be more effective in my communication. Like it's it's a constant learning endeavor, bro. Every day.
That's great. It's either you're learning or you're dying.
Truly, 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 truly. So man, um, like every other week, we step onto this platform and really kind of delve into the components of what it takes to truly build brand authority because we are as individuals we are our greatest asset when we choose to invest into becoming our greatest asset. So like you and I are truly living testimonials of that. If RH auto brokers for whatever reason were taken away from you, if Bullseye Consulting for whatever reason were taken away from me, what would not be taken away from us absent our breath and ability to exist as human beings on this earth, we can build it right back because we've invested into who we are. Like our brand is a representation of who we are as individuals based on the investments that we've made into becoming who we are. Which
Yeah.
brings us to our first kind of segment of the episode. What do you think about how your brand looks to other people? Because we can have our perspective of how we come across, we can have our perception of how effective that we are, but how does that look to other people? Because that, in essence, is what kind of begins the process of the buy-in and the connection that leads to greater opportunities through the relationships that get formed.
Yeah.
So when you think about that as a opening topic for this week's episode, what does that mean to you? What comes to mind for you?
How you dress, how you show up. Like, so when you're building a brand, I think it's like you think about Chick-fil-A, or In-N-Out Burger. Like when I drive through the In-N-Out Burger drive through and I can see, you ever done that? And you can look in the window and watch them working and they're all wearing the same outfits, the same name tags, top to bottom, everybody's on brand. That's what you come to expect. You know, when you go to Chick-fil-A, you come to expect excellence. You know, like, this is my pleasure. You know, like, it's kind of funny. I've had dude not say that once, and I'm like, what? And funny enough, our order was wrong. This cat, like, it was this one cat. It stuck with me, man. Like, he said something else, and I got to the office. I'm like, this order is all messed up. It was that dude who didn't operate like a Chick-fil-A cat. Like, he was not the right dude, you know? So it's very funny. But, you know, Chick-fil-A, let me put it to you like this. They dictate how we act. We get it twisted in our mind. It's like, well, if you work there, you're wearing a red shirt, you're wearing khakis or jeans or whatever. And how they act towards us and how they represent that brand, it dictates how we receive it. We come to expect it. And so all I'm saying is, like, when I go networking, or if I'm doing business, or I'm in my office, I have a sport coat. I'm business casual. That's my brand. My brand is business casual. On this podcast, I got on a t-shirt. I'm at home. But, you know, out in public, I like to be business casual. That projects a brand of professionalism. I'm dealing with the second largest purchase you make in your life. I could show up like this. I choose not to, because I want you to feel comfortable, safe, that I'm going to do a good job. Everything's professional and is getting handled the right way. So that's something that is important to me for my brand and my team.
Man, and this has been truly who I am as an individual my entire life. I am such a contrarian. I didn't understand it about myself until much later in life, namely maybe within the last 2 to 3 years.
That's fine.
It's been something that I've just had to navigate and just kind of figure out along the way. Now, how that relates to how I show up and when I think about my brand. So when I wore the Air Force uniform for 10 years, I've been in small towns where when I walked into the local diner in uniform, I've been greeted with the thank you for your service and the most incredible experiences. And then, like, I enjoy my meal and I walk up to the register to pay my bill, and they tell me, "Oh no, your money is no good here. Somebody has already taken care of your bill."
Yeah.
Like, I've had that experience, and then I've gone back into that same establishment outside of uniform.
Oh.
And gotten a completely different experience.
Okay.
I mean, completely different, because
that's what I'm saying. Like, but you dictated it.
I get it. But the, like, experiencing, having both of those experiences, nothing changed about me other than what I was wearing. So
okay.
It's, for me, the way that my mind is wired as a contrarian, I can't have that lived experience and it not profoundly affect the way that I process, like, all of that. So, and just to provide, like, more clear context to what it is that I'm saying for the folks that maybe don't have the lived experiences to be able to read between the lines. When I showed up to those same establishments just as a Black man looking to get something to eat, that experience was not, and it was the same exact establishment. That experience was not the same at all. So when I think about my overall development as a human being and some of the privileges that have been afforded to me based on the sacrifices that my parents made for me to have a different lived experience than their lived experience growing up, and like how I show up, how I see life, how I interact with folks, and for that to kind of, materialize into some of the experiences that I've had. I When I think about my brand, I want to talk to the kid that did not have the privileges that my parents afforded for me to live a different life and to have a different experience and to carry myself in a different kind of way. I want to talk to that kid. I want to talk to the kid that would otherwise not see themselves represented. I want to change the lives of folks that look like me, that have shared experiences as me, that have never been given certain opportunities because they didn't have a skill set in order to show up and provide a scale of value in which they could live like be valued for their contributions and not prejudged. So when I show up in my hoodie and my fit and my snapback or my fitted or whatever, what have you, it's very intentional. It's very I'm cool with not doing business with everybody. I'm 100% okay with that. For the folks that are not able to see past their own biases and prejudgments, we're not meant to do business with each other, and that's okay. I don't take that personal. That's cool. I am 100% okay with that, because I'm not talking to those individuals anyway. And ultimately, with what I understand, with the investments that I've made into myself, truly to my core, that's their loss. So like it is what it is. Like I know what companies pay for me to come in and do what I do. So if they are looking at my hoodie and my hat and they have a perception of me, I'm cool with that. Like those aren't the folks. I'm straight. We good. And all of this is so important to branding, because as entrepreneurs, we have to decide what our priorities are. We have to decide like what really matters. And like I've shown up in the suits and the ties and all of the things. And ultimately none of that really mattered. What truly mattered was the results that were delivered.
I think it's a personal preference.
Like my brand. What was that, Ronnie? I'm sorry. You broke up.
I think it's a personal preference. Whatever you decide, I don't think there's any right or wrong to it. If that's what you want to do, well, the joy of it is you can do whatever you want. It's a free country.
Absolutely. And
that's the beauty of branding. Everybody that wants to be helped. Period. Like I don't have a niche of people that I'm trying to transform. I'm like, I don't have that. I'm just like, you want to be helped? Okay. I'll help you.
For sure. But with that, again, because we on the same page, we definitely on the same page. Now, for like taking that a step further, what we talked about during pre-production was with the client that I've worked with, they had never invested into all of the other stuff that goes into branding. So when they showed up to networking events, they had a brand that was outdated and non-representative of what their company actually provides. And their website was atrocious. All of the visuals, all of the things, like, when someone gets their business card and they look at it and it's like, okay, like this this isn't even really representative of who I met. And then they go to the website and it's even further of a detraction from what the how the person that gave that business card actually presented themselves. It just goes it goes it's counterproductive. So when I think about this opening segment that we're having right now, there are so many components that goes into how other people perceive our brand and what we do to produce the greatest outcomes from that, regardless. So, does that mean that we update our logo to be more attractive to folks? Does that mean that we pay for the website to be updated with the SEO and the what's the because I know SEO is the search engine optimization, but then there is the equivalent of SEO that increases visibility via the large language models.
I don't know, but I've heard of what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's all of the things because going through the work of developing content, showing up digitally, showing up in person to the networking events and all of the things. When people go to that next step of like researching the brand that's been presented to them, what does that part look like? Does that part actually support what drew that attention to begin with? Or does it go contrary to it? And how does that affect the prospects of the person that found out about you, went to your website, and now they either dropped off or that website was structured in the right fashion in which it actually helped to reinforce whatever created that awareness to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. You just gotta, the website it's a great big business card, but it's either converting or it's not. So you said a lot there, and I don't even know if you had a question so do I think about the brand? It's like, yeah, I mean, I think you can waste a lot of time trying to figure it out on your own. If I'm working on a brand now, it's going to go through a company called APG, Chris Tombaugh, and get some expert advice instead of losing 2 or 3 years trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong.
Let me double, triple, quadruple foot stamp on that. Like APG, Advanced Printing and Graphics, Chris Tombaugh.
Yeah.
When it comes to truly understanding, representing your brand the proper way, like his brand does that in such an eloquent way. And I just want to give a shout out to him because when we talk about milestones in building a brand, the milestone of going from non-physical online presence to physical location, like you can come and see me, like I actually have a location.
Yeah.
He just did that again. Like he's done it in the past, but he's done it again now in Colorado Springs.
Right.
And that all of that ties into what it is that we're discussing, because the website is kind of like the online storefront. But when you have a physical storefront, much like yourself, Ronnie, and to that point, how do you feel that your physical location has influenced your ideal client's perspective of your brand and the value that you provide?
It's been immense. Number one, I can't have the business that I have without a storefront. It's part of the license qualification. So I have to have a store. I have to have a physical banner. I have to have a physical building. There is no I'm just going to do it out of my house. it's not possible to do it legit like I do it in my industry. Trying to make it as clear as I can. Like, one of the qualifications to get the license is the location. So, you leaving again? Okay, love you. So one of the qualifications is the building. Now, for 15 or so years, or 16 years or whatever, I rented a spot 2 buildings away. And we decorated it somewhat, but we didn't paint, we didn't do a lot. It had 8-foot ceilings, if you're familiar, right? 8-foot ceilings instead of 9-foot ceilings. Makes an incredible difference if you've paid attention to that, like how spacious the place is and stuff like that. So when we got the opportunity to buy the building, it was kind of a huge upgrade for my clients because I could deliver the experience I really wanted to. So then we spent money decorating. That building is a tool. It's basically, when you walk in the door, it shows you everything you need to see within 2 footsteps when you get into the front door. So, to me, when I look at that question, how does my brand show up to other people? Yeah, come walk through the front door and you'll see. It's like, no, this is a very professional place. It is designed to help you with the second largest purchase that you're going to make in your life. And you are safe here. Come on in. So you asked me how it helped my brand. I mean, I think it amplified it like tenfold. I can see it when I greet people for the first time. I'll walk up there, I walk up and they're coming in the door and I can see it. I'm like, okay, you're comfortable here? Great. Let's have a conversation about your car.
And what did you
We did that by design.
learn? What did you learn from having the location downstairs and around the corner from where your current location, like the same building, but when you moved into the new suite, there were renovations that happened before you had your ribbon cutting ceremony. What things did you learn from how you presented yourself in the first location that you applied to the next?
Well, we did the same thing when we bought the suite downstairs. We spent money renovating that as well. Like, if you remember, it had 1 office, we made it into 2, and it had limited windows. So the basement one moved in, so it had windows up at the front. But my office, even though it was a double office and it had a fireplace on it, it didn't have windows, which I was very at home with. Like, I'm a creature, I'm a man. Like, I'm a cave dweller. Like, I'm like, this is great. But so when we decided to move upstairs, okay, Ronnie, you can't be in your comfort zone. Let's have some windows. So now we have the Pikes Peak view over my shoulder.
So hold on, because that was a light flex that I just want to accentuate real quick, because this is what comes along with 30 years of commitment to the cause. You moved upstairs to your own building.
No, well, I had the building downstairs. I moved upstairs. So you're talking about the same building. But still own that suite. Yeah, I still own the suite downstairs. It's rented out to somebody else. But we moved upstairs because we thought it would be better for the clients. Like, it's just more open and lighted.
My point is that you own both of them. So yeah. Like that's I don't want that to go over nobody's head. Like when it comes to the intentionality of truly building a brand, that is what comes as a result of it. Like, you're able to multiply, to truly prosper in that way. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but we can't just like slide past that, because I know that's not no small feat, and you've worked your ass off to have the resources that are at your disposal now.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I'm still working on them. Like, I still have a mortgage, so multiple mortgages now. So it's like, okay, yeah, I think it's something that people should look at. And Tom Baugh's movement to the building, it's like, I never thought I was going to be able to purchase one, man. Number one, I didn't think I'd find a location. Number two, I just thought it would keep creeping up out of my price range. But as I got older, I realized that, like you said, the power of words are powerful. Like, you can do it. You just got to set your mind to it, set a goal, and keep going after it, and asking why. Why not me? So Yeah, brought in a partner for upstairs, so that helped too. It's like, great, this is no problem. But yeah, I think that part of representing the brand, what do I want people to think of when they think of RH Auto Brokers? Professionalism would be way up there for me. Yeah, we want to show up and look good, and so the website, everything. Mine is a mess right now. Like my YouTube channel thumbnails don't line up. Like I'm like, it's like so much. It's an endless amount of money you can spend too when you were talking about this. But like, to me, yes, it does matter. It hasn't mattered enough for me to spend 10 grand a month working on it, but maybe one day it will.
And that's the thing, man. I dig that. I get your point where you're coming with that, because it certainly takes money to make money, and marketing
Unfortunately.
is a required investment. Like if you're not willing to invest in your own brand, then how can you expect anyone else to?
That's a
Like,
great point. I mean, that's like, hold up. That's gosh darn it, I wasn't ready. Jesse, you caught me with it. Yeah, say it again. If you're not willing to invest in your own brand, how can you make other people to? Like, if Chick-fil-A didn't invest in that system and that My Pleasure, they couldn't charge as much for the chicken sandwich. It's funny. I go through the line now and don't even think about how much it costs, because the service is so good. I'm in and out of there. I pretty much know my order's going to be right unless I get that one dude. It was like I knew it right away. I was like, this cat ain't right. You a spy. You from McDonald's. Yeah.
oh man, no, 100%. Which brings us to our next segment, which is how we actually articulate the outcome as opposed to selling features. Because one of the things that I coach my clients on consistently is when we talk about the idea of the upsell, which, understanding technically the upsell is a function of business, but truly, when that's kind of brought back down to its elementary root, it's about providing value. Like, how are we actually providing additional value? Not the upsell, not talking about bells and whistles. How is the conversation that we're having right now and what's going to come from the conversation that's happening right now going to materially shift or address a problem that the person that we're talking to will be able to tangibly experience? And it's one of those things. So like with home service businesses, for example, I've had a client where they were incentivizing the upsell and communicating the upsell concept to their team religiously. And what that led to was like a resistance barrier where the team was like, I'm not here to be taking other people to be taking people's money. Like that's not what I'm here for. Like, I love the service that we provide because we truly address a problem. But you telling me to go in and find additional opportunities for you to make money, that don't sit well with my spirit, my ethics, my morals, none of that. So I don't care what incentive that you attach to it. You can kiss my ass. Like, I'm not upselling nothing.
Yeah.
And that like lends back to the premise of this question from my perspective. How we're actually articulating the outcome. So from your perspective and your professional experience in doing this for a while, how do we as entrepreneurs intentionally focus on articulating the value driven outcome as opposed to adding to the bill.
You have to slow down the process, and you have to um, ask the right questions. Like we fall in love with what we can do. Like if you go look at Donald Miller's information, the man who wrote the story brand method, he says the same thing. He's like, first of all, you gotta ask people if they have a problem. In my business, it's like, Ronnie, I want to get a 4Runner. It's like, okay, that's fine. Are you asking me if I have one? No, I mean, how can you help me get a 4Runner? Wait a minute. So back in the past, I'd be like, oh, let me see what I can do. Let me get the car. Let me tap dance. Let me get the car. Like nowadays, the answer would give you is, that's great. So is that your problem, that you just need to find the 4Runner, or are you struggling with wanting to get the 4Runner and also eliminate having to ever go to the dealership and spend 4 or 5 hours there? No, that's what I really want. I don't want to spend a single second at a dealership, but I want to get a 4Runner. I have a solution for you. But if you're like, no, I don't mind going to the dealership. I don't mind, dude. I've been already to 5 dealerships. I don't mind. Okay. Good luck finding your 4Runner. That's not what I do. So I think, articulating the outcome that I'm articulating to you is assuming the price is agreeable, right? Take the price out of it. Assuming the price is agreeable. Would you like to avoid going to a dealership to get your 4Runner?
Me personally, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So then we have a lot to talk about. Let's set a time and sit down. I'll show you exactly how you can win and you can be the hero of this thing and avoid all that drama and get the vehicle that you want. But in the past, what I'm saying is, when we're focused on the features and the benefits of what I do, I would, like, you should be working with me because I can do this and this and this and this and this. And all of these 5 things are not the problem you have. So they are irrelevant to even talk about. Like, it's fascinating as I stay on this journey of figuring this out. I had a guy call me today with $35,000. I'm like, not enough to get, he wants a Tacoma. I'm like, yeah, that's great. He's like, so his problem is this: I've got 35. I want a 4Runner a Tacoma with less than 50,000 miles. I said, dude, why are you calling me? Because I can't find it. Oh, how long have you been looking for it? Months. I'm like, you do not have a pain point that I solve. Like, my client does not want to spend 1 minute doing this. You've already done it for months. It's like, you just want to know if I have one. And then he's like, can you keep your eyes open? No, I don't solve your problem. My business does not do that. My clients want to come sit for 1 minute and be done. Like, they understand it. So when you're promoting your brand and selling your features, I think it's important to articulate the outcome. Here's the problem. When we articulate that outcome, I already know people listening to this would be like, that's not me. I want to find the best price. I'll drive to Florida to get the car. I'm like, okay. But then us as the marketers or trying to build brand authority, we want to try to include everybody. Wait, I can help you and you and you and you. And the fact, like you said it earlier, you are completely comfortable with not working with everybody. So am I. I'm good. I'm like, dude, like I could probably do what you want me to do. I don't want to. I want to work with people that want to work with me because they want to save time. Period. Like, like, I'm not going to keep talking to you about it. I'm like, hey, I'm done. I've had people get upset with me. I'm like, all right, well, hey, I don't want to be in this back and forth game that you've got yourself into. I hope you enjoy it. But that's the thing too. It's good for them. Like, if they're happy doing that, be happy. I didn't say that you were wrong. I just said that I don't do what you want me to do.
100%. So just if you could just answer this really, really succinctly, because I have a larger point that I'm getting to. What year did you start networking?
2007. You mean like intentionally
Yeah,
networking?
intentionally networking. Yeah.
2007.
Okay. So in the years that you've been networking, have you met a business owner that does not want to be profitable?
No.
Okay. Now, the reason that my industry is able to continue to provide value to business owners is because if the conversation stopped at the surface level reach of being profitable, then it would never go any further. So there's always the probing, the prompting to understand to a deeper degree the true why, because every business owner wants to be profitable, and I don't even like speaking in absolutes. But if they don't want to be profitable, then they can become a nonprofit. So it's a whole different option there. You know what I mean? So if you're operating in the nonprofit arena,
Yeah.
you want to be profitable. But if the conversation stopped at, yeah, I want to be 10%. I want to increase my profitability by 10%. If the conversation stopped there, I truly do not believe that my industry would exist. But taking that a step further, when someone says, I want to increase my profitability by 10%, the immediate follow-up question is, well, why? Like,
Yeah.
materially, what does a 10% increase in your profitability? How does that change your life? What does that do for you?
Yeah. Why do you want to do that? Yeah.
And now we start talking about the real reasons. We start talking about the real problems that they've been experiencing. They say, man, my baby girl is getting ready to graduate high school, and I haven't been able to make it to any of her sports games. And like I can't, like I enjoy boating. I want to be on the water. I love the water. It gives me peace and serenity. I bought a boat 13 years ago, and I haven't been able to get on that motherfucker yet because I can't take off time, because if I'm not here, shit fall off the plate. Like I have to be here. All right. Now we're actually talking about the true problem that's going to be solved. And from that, now when my client is getting ready to write an $18,000 check on Friday, it's not because they want more profitability. It's because they don't want to be an indentured servant to their passion. They want freedom. They want liberation. They want to live their life.
So how do you articulate that outcome in your product when you're putting out information? Like, if you're trying to build a brand authority, how do you articulate that outcome?
By asking the questions.
No, I'm saying when you're putting out a piece of content, I'm not talking about you talking to a customer. I'm talking about you trying to build a brand authority and get people to actually think that the content you're putting out is relevant to the outcome that they're seeking. How do you do that? That's this question. Like, how do you articulate, working with me, this is the outcome you will receive? Instead of talking about this and this and this and this, and I'm tuned out 15 minutes ago, right? Like, not now, but it's like, that's what happens. Like, we think that we have all the answers, but what the client or the potential person that's judging us as a person that should follow us or be part of our pack is like, what outcome am I going to receive? So how do we do that? How do we articulate that instead of selling features?
Well, I hear what you're saying, and if you actually hear what I'm saying, I am articulating response relative to the question. Let me finish, Ronnie. So the outcome, again, because in my line of business, everybody's outcome is different, right? What the outcome of what it is that we're doing is like as far as what matters to them is gonna vary from entrepreneur to entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's not a cookie cutter thing. So in order for me to actually be able to drill down to actually speak to their outcome that is specific to them, it comes from asking the questions to
So
understand.
you don't have a person to talk to, Jesse. You're putting out
Well,
content. This is outbound content.
yeah.
So are you just going to keep going through the questions, or
no. So this is the thing. Because we've spoken about this at length on various episodes that you and I have filmed. It takes consistency to have a true presence that folks can trust enough to invest their time into understanding what's going to come back as a result of any further investment beyond their time. So again, I am speaking directly to the question that is posed for this segment, which is how we're articulating the outcome. So when I speak about the outcome for my clients, it starts with understanding what matters to them.
all right.
Once I understand what matters to them, then we can actually speak to how we get there. But if I don't understand,
I can't only help you get where you want to go. I understand. I'm just having a hard time tracking with what you're saying, man. I am. I don't. What do you? Can you break it down for me? Because I don't understand it.
Okay.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to understand it. Like, what are you saying?
What don't you understand?
Like, so when I'm like, okay, you're gonna make a piece of content tomorrow. How would
I'm
you
not
go out
talking
there?
about. I'm not talking about content, Ronnie. The question is, how do you articulate the outcome instead of selling the features? That is not confined to content.
It's the whole brand. So you're talking about.
It's all of it. It's the whole thing. It's the whole kit and caboodle.
So what tools would you be using?
Questions.
Well, who you're talking to?
Yeah, based on who I am talking to. Yes.
No, what I'm saying is, who are you talking to? Like, so are you telling the new entrepreneur that wants to go out and ask these questions, who do they go talk to? Like, how do we do this? Like,
okay,
you're right.
So,
and I think you're right. I think the question is lacking. How do you articulate this when you're putting out content? You know, like when you're trying to build a brand authority digitally, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have nobody to talk to. Like, I don't have like 15 people lined up that I'm going to ask a ton of questions, but I think that you could easily do it. So here's a way. You find out where your people are on Reddit and on, because I'm going through this course right now, and it was talking about that. It was like, hey, go to these places and hang out with these people. There's other hangouts where people are asking the questions that you have the outcome they're looking for. So you can go there and listen to those questions. And like you said, they're all different, you know, but I kind of tie it together because I'm like, man, I like it. Like if you're talking about a dude sitting right here and we're talking to him, I'm like, yeah, ask the right questions. Jesse got that on lock. But when I'm talking about building a brand, I'm like, how am I going to do that? So finding these places to go, and you said it, like networking in human form or showing up, that's one. But like we still have to do it online.
Right. But in order to kind of streamline our messaging so that we are talking to who we want to talk to rather, understanding the why behind. So for example, if it's a business owner, and I'm just speaking, like when you answered the question, you spoke specifically from the perspective of your industry, and I'm speaking specifically from my industry. In order for me to speak to the outcomes, the outcomes that get produced. Because if I just speak at the surface level of the outcome is that you're gonna have increased profitability, whip the fucking do. Like,
Even though they said that, like if I say that's what I want and you go, okay, you're right.
yeah, like that
Yeah,
don't mean that that's not speaking to a tangible, like a real outcome. That like that's a fringe benefit of the outcome. But the real outcome is I don't have to be working in my business every day. So when I'm articulating my messaging for the end user to understand, if they work in 70 hours a week, they're going to be able to actually step away from their business and not have to work in it at all.
is that what they want?
That's what I'm saying. That comes from the questions. Everybody has different things. There are some folks that are 100% driven by profitability. And in that instance, I am going to speak to that outcome. But everybody don't have the same outcome. Like I have to drill it down to figure out what actually matters to the individual before I start talking about outcomes. Because the outcome that I may have materially structured in my mind may not align with what they actually want. Okay. So I have to understand what it is that they want first before I can actually speak to that outcome. So again, in order for me to understand what it is that we're working toward, I got to know what they want for themselves. And it starts with that why element. So when it, like tying it back, because you made a great point as far as maybe the question is not as contextually sound as we would like it to be. So
I answered it the same way though. I was like, this is just the outcome that I get. I didn't say anything about digitally. It's like, and your question's really deep. Your answer's really deep. I understand where you're going, but I'm like, how do we apply? I like doing stuff. Like, I'm like, all right, if we're going to talk about this stuff, what are we doing next week?
Right.
I get tired.
I do think that this conversation is constructive to the entrepreneur that has not had the ebbs and flows that you and I have had. You far more than I have had. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Like, no. Like it's unquestionable. Like you just by sheer the amount of time that you have invested into becoming who you are, it's no question that like you leaps and bounds beyond. Like I have 3 years of me in the entrepreneurial space of, yo, if I don't make this work, then nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing that for the past 3 years.
Bro, but like you got people like they die on that sword, man. I've been doing this for 30 years. Like, so it's like when people ask me about what I do, I like to try to not talk about that, because here's the deal. What got me here is not going to get me to the next level. All of that's over. It's done. You could have been doing something the last 3 years that I should have been doing or should have been focused on as far as digital presence or understanding, digging into the why. I'm learning stuff too tonight, but like, I find that to be a trap is all I'm saying. I respect and appreciate that you considered an achievement. Thank you. However, I'm at 0. I'm like, bro, like you're talking about that's over. Like, it's like, like every year, in a sporting world, we won the Super Bowl. All right, cool. It's over. Like we're 0. We're 0-0 now. Like we're going to game 1. What are we doing now? Like, I think every entrepreneur needs to learn that lesson.
But it's not though. But the reason that it's not though, and even tying that back to your analogy on the sports side is you've built an all-star team in an all-star arena. So your team is used to the glitz and the glamour. They're used to, because there's some folks that when they show up on stage, they're not used to having 100,000 people looking at them and judging every move that they make.
Yeah.
And they crumble under that pressure. Whereas you have established a process, a framework in which that's not what people show up to. Like they show up when they on the stage, they're conditioned for the 100,000 people that are in the audience. Like you have created that over the course of the time that you've invested in the building what you built. So it is a little different. You know what I mean? Like for me, I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I can show up on the stage of 100,000 people facing me, and I'm going to wing it through it. And, you know, like my lived experiences have kind of conditioned me to be able to navigate that. But you have established a framework where you can take a novice that doesn't have the experiences that I have, and they're going to be able to go on that stage and produce. I mean, it's different. It's different, is all I'm saying, bro. Like I'm not going to sit here and discredit. I'm not going to sit here and not highlight the work that you've put in and what that has produced.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and not highlight the 3 years that you got. Like, dude, that you had to make a decision that you were not going to get a paycheck anymore. It's a major deal, you know, like it's, people don't understand, you know, glitz and glam. Like I've never talked to you about that. Like, why did you do it? Like, are you money motivated? Are you time motivated? You want to spend more time with your kids? Do you want to produce a legacy? Like all of these different things, right? And I feel like I'm getting to know you and I'm like, okay, yeah, like, of course we want more profit, of course. Like, but I like that question. Why? For me, it's simple. It's freedom. It's freedom. I want to be free. You know, and I feel like entrepreneurism is the last freedom, like as close as you get to what we call freedom, you know. But I think it's amazing that you step out there into this world that you're in and put your best foot forward every day and just do it. Like you can't get better at swimming without swimming, says Gary Vaynerchuk, right? So, you know, how do you get ready for a stage of 100 people, 100,000? It's like, well, you gotta go out there and make a fool of yourself. Bonnie says it this way in my company: you are not going to be good here unless you agree when you start with me that you are now the village idiot, and you have to get comfortable being the village idiot for a very long time, like an extended period of time. It doesn't mean that your answers are not noted and that your brain, like, we still want you to critically think. I want to know what you think about this. But it does mean you got a lot to learn and we need you to get started right now. Like every day, you got to figure out, learn something new about the business. So yeah, I think that what you did was you was like, all right, let's get into the deep water. And you just went in like and started learning how to swim. And I feel like that. So this is what you might miss. It's like at the 30-year mark, I have forgotten how exciting that is.
Oh man.
So when I get a guy in the room like you, I'm like, oh man, I've told you this before. I love that energy. You know, I'm like, bring me that energy. Like I'm a vampire. I'm like, I've lost mine. Bring it here, young buck. Like I want that. I want my team like that. Like hungry, you know, like hungry, pushing belts. Ronnie, I need you to show up for a podcast at 7:00 on Tuesday. Wow. This cat got energy, you know, like it's very valuable and overlooked often. So I respect the game. I'm like, yeah, dude, I got you.
No, ditto. So I mean, I think that everything that we're speaking to, it certainly ties back to the tagline for this particular segment, which is Like, you don't have to sell any features. You naturally speak to the outcomes just by being who you are. Like, if this outcome is not what you're looking for, then it's okay.
We can still be. I tell people we still be friends, man. You're more heartbroken than me. I'm like, I'm gonna move on. Like, and I think that comes down to building the authority online. Like, I have people that fight with me on the internet. Like, they don't like my opinions on the automotive industry, right? And want to fight with me, and I think that's okay too. Like, that's fine. Like, show me a different way, But when you have a room of people that want to get the outcome that you can deliver, whether it's multiple different outcomes, which is a good point. Like, my clients, I boiled it down, but like, no, they have multiple different outcomes, one which is time. But having the right people in and attracting the right avatar to our pack is super important. Like, we're kind of not like we're a political thing, but like we believe that we should be together talking about this growing instead of fighting about it all damn day. Like, dude, if you don't believe this, you don't want to build online, you don't want to grow an authority, why are you here? Like, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
or if you've got it already figured out, then please do share. Maybe you're selling a course we could buy. I don't know.
Right. No, it's so real, bro. It's so real, man. So, Ronnie, truly, honestly, from my spirit deep down into it to you directly, man to man, the reason that one of the many reasons that I truly value each of our conversations is because, for one, I know that, like, everything that we discuss comes from a space of love and future prosperity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it really is. It's like, if I didn't feel that you want me to win, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh so rewinding back, and I got to give a shout out to my man Clayton Knight again, because he's who connected me to you. And when I first met you in your office, I felt a genuine feel of, man, like, how can I help this brother? And if this ain't the right time for me to be able to help this brother, then that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I felt that. And then that conversation attributed to, like, it wasn't the sole reason, but it attributed to me moving into the BNI chapter. And then every week, you know what I'm saying? Like, the legitimate, like, you invested into me through our brief exchanges each week. Like, there was always a gem. There was always an intentional push for me to be a better version of myself.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't selling a fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, it was all like outcome based, benefiting me. I felt that.
Okay.
So, taking that a step further, as far as like, what really drove us to this point of having this endeavor together, and we've spoken about this story, and we're going to continue to speak about it because it's the origin of this platform. Our conversations could have rested in a text thread.
Yeah.
Easily. But that, from my perspective, would have been a disservice to the folks that I recognize may not be ready for the full outcome yet. They may not be ready yet. And that's okay. Like, I'm not here to rush anybody to make it to their outcome any faster than they're comfortable getting there. This enables us to have fruitful conversations every week that creates a breadcrumb trail, where like they can choose to follow that breadcrumb trail to proven outcomes that you're able to articulate. Like it's there already. Like they can physically walk into your building tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? They can physically see the location right around the corner downstairs that you also own tomorrow, because of the framework that you have already established. And they can hear about the journeys that I'm taking my clients through. And they can make a decision on if that outcome is something that they aspire toward or not.
Yeah.
And it's okay either way.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like, so for content to you, it could be like, are you struggling with coming up with your why? And how many of those are there? I mean, that's probably a year's worth of content right there. Like, why do you do this? Like, I remember when I first heard Simon Sinek say that, start with why, you know, it's like, I still don't know if what my total why is. I should probably niche that down even more. But I'll tell you this, it's not so I can leave my business. It's not. I think it's just not. I have what else would I do, dude? Like, I don't have any desire right now. Give me 10 years and it might change, but that why is super powerful, man. Like figuring it out and understanding why you get up every day. Why am I up at 4? Why am I at the office at 8 or 7:30 or whatever? Like turning the lights on, you know. I find
it's real. Like when I think about, so I can't recall if I've shared this on this platform or not, but my realization of retirement came 12 years ago. Yep, 12 years ago. No, actually, it was more like 13 or 14 years ago when I first started having the conversations about getting out of the Air Force.
Right.
Because I had all of these people insulting my intelligence as if I didn't understand basic math to know that. Yeah, like because I would be getting, I got out at 10 years. So these people were telling me, you do recognize if you do another 10 years, like you halfway there, if you do another 10 years, you retire and you get a paycheck for the rest of your life. And
you do another 10 years, you can move up to fries, dog. You see that in America?
Yeah.
If I just do this for 5 more years, I can move up to fries. It's like, bro, like, wow.
And that's what people were telling me, bro. And they were so convinced and convicted to that ideology that it was sad to see, to be frank.
I mean, if that's what they choose, we thank you for your service. It's an honor. But like, I think what you're saying is that they want that life, and so look, that's the outcome they want.
Touche.
You didn't want that outcome.
Touche.
You can do math.
Yes. Yep. That's real.
I'm very grateful for my friends and people that do 32 years, you know, but
that's real.
You know, salute, you know, but like I was in the same boat, dude. They were saying the same thing to me. Mine was worse, dog. I remember when I left, I was making trophies at a trophy shop. Have you even heard of a trophy shop? You're not in the sports, right? But like,
yeah, no, I actually had a consultation with a business owner of a trophy shop.
Okay.
So, Yeah.
There's a dude in the back sawing and cutting pieces and putting them. That was me. And I was getting $7.50 an hour, and that dealership was going to hire me. And the dude was like, "Why don't we just give you another dollar raise, dog? You don't need to go over there." And like you said, like he's like, "This is what you want, right?" And I was like, "No, I want that unlimited outcome. If I keep
So
selling, if I keep
yeah.
selling, I keep earning. Like if I keep selling, I keep earning. I wanted that ladder to climb."
So that fundamentally shifted my perspective in so many ways because like that was their definition of retirement. And as I sit here in front of you now, Ronnie, I honestly don't see myself not doing what I do now indefinitely because it truly is not work. I said it at the beginning of the episode.
You
Like,
found it.
yeah, it's not work for me at all. So now, like what retirement is not having to do it. Like
Yeah.
if like not having to get up out of the bed and be productive that day because I have an infrastructure that I have invested into building that will sustain fuck me, but the people that I care about,
Yeah.
the like all of the things outside of myself that are
Yeah.
able to be sustained from what has been built.
Yeah.
Like that's retirement for me. I
That's where I'm at.
honestly I do not see a day in my life that I'm not doing what I'm doing right now. Like I truly love what I do for a living.
And yeah,
It's
and so
not
that
work at
way,
all.
if I die, I'm dying doing what I want to do.
Yes,
I think
really.
society has a problem with that. They don't believe it. I'm like, yeah, you know.
But I think a big part of that though is the fact that our society doesn't emphasize that enough. Our society emphasizes glitz and glamour so much. So, I am nowhere near where I'm going to be in my entrepreneurial, the prospects of what my life looks like. I'm nowhere near any of that. Now, as more of that starts to come into reality and fruition and people are able to see it, they are gonna just by human nature, they're gonna aspire for that. And they're not like, I don't do this for that. Like
Right.
I do this because I love doing it the same way that you do what you do because you love doing it.
I love it.
But what ends up happening is you got these people like it's not these people because I don't want to sound that kind of because I don't mean it that way. But society conditions us as a human race to, you become the doctor, you become the lawyer, you become the this, the that that's supposed to provide this outcome. And then they finally make it into that outcome to recognize I never wanted to be a lawyer. I never wanted to be a doctor. I never wanted to do what I invested all of these years to become. Like I've never wanted to do that thing for real, but I fell in love with the outcome. And now the vehicle to get me to the outcome is detracting from my life. Like that is too many people's lived experience.
Well,
And
because the why doesn't line up, right?
yep, 100%. 100%. So it's like when I think about myself in particular, like, and I know it's true for you as well, just from how we've been connecting. Like the shit is it's not it really ain't work, bro. Like nothing about any of this stuff is work for me, and I would love for as many people, and I think that it's actually a necessity for humanity, for more of us to tap into our own whys as opposed to chasing this outcome that is not for us. Because we can create our own outcome by being true to who we are and what really drives us. So
Yeah, I agree. And but what I find the most difficult is like you go back and watch that movie, The Matrix, and no matter what you do, man, like we gotta attract the right pack because some of us like how the noodles taste inside the Matrix. It's just a fact. And I think that where we get twisted is like you've said it multiple times on this podcast, like that's okay. Like, I don't want to talk down to anybody. Like if you don't want to build your own brand, then this podcast is not for you. That's okay.
mhm.
Yeah. This was good, man. I mean, I'm sorry I wasn't tracking. I was trying to understand it,
No,
but
no, 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 Ronnie. We ain't finna do that. We ain't finna do that. This is the beauty of what it is that we're doing, and I think that our entire conversation was very constructive because for the novice that actually read between the lines, they could recognize that our conversation was unscripted.
yeah, this is totally off the rails, dude. I mean, like I don't know about you, but like, dude, like it's just something with me. Like if I'm conflicted with you, that means I'm talking to you. It don't mean I don't like you. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure this out, dude. Like I'm not really, I'm good. I'm like, just tell me the answer. I'm figuring it out. Like, yeah, I'm having a hard time, but it doesn't mean that we're done. It just means, hey, but I found that in society that's lost too.
But I
No.
mean, social media, and that's the thing that we talk about leveraging social media. What we probably don't talk about enough is the detriment of social media on humanity because
Yeah.
social media is what creates exactly what you're describing, where we're not able to just have a conversation as human beings. It's like I have to surmount Ronnie, or Ronnie has to surmount Jesse, and it's like that's not what humanity is about. It's never been that, and I doubt that it ever will be.
I find
You
that
know what I mean?
fascinating too, dude. You're right. Like if you're talking about like, I know I like sports, but like I'm not a fanatic. A fan is just short for fanatic. Like, of course I'm watching the game tomorrow night. I'm kind of hoping the Spurs pull it off just because I want to see a long series. I don't want to see them get cleaned up. Like I'm like, dude, play some basketball. Like I want to see a fight. Um, but the same thing about this daggone social media. Like people read stuff and believe it, and then formulate opinions. And it's like, dude, like it. You know what's funny? I don't know how I got this way, but the majority of the stuff I see and follow and read on the internet, it's just entertainment. I'm not looking to any, like if I'm looking for something that I can improve myself on, okay, well I'm probably looking at Myron Golden. I'm probably looking at Donald Miller. I just bought Forbes Riley's new book. It just came in the mail. I'll go check her out. Like I'm like, what you got? Because I want to work on my pitch.
How did you find out about her?
Forbes on social media, like she has built a brand authority that resonates around the world, like the queen of pitch. And so if I'm looking for stuff on the internet like that, the rest of it is just entertainment. I'm like, this is entertaining. It's cats and whatever, boat jokes, like who knows? Yeah.
Hey, bro, like I said before, we certainly can go down the rabbit hole of reading a book together. Not like sitting in the same room and reading it together, but
You gonna read
like
me a bedtime story?
yeah, not that, but like you read a chapter and I'm reading the same chapter, and then we bring it to this.
No,
You know
we
what I'm
should
saying?
probably do that. I just read Maxwell's book, 21 Irrefutable Laws, the 25th anniversary edition. So he's updated it. And whatever, we could pick one. I'm down. Like I'm working on leadership right now. So that's kind of what I focus my Audible and stuff on, but I would be
Bro,
down with
I'm
that.
with it. I'm with it because the reality is, so with my current client, the leadership element has been so pervasive in everything that I've done so far because in an organization, when when a when an organization is devoid of true leadership, it it's sad to see because the missed opportunity that is just like so overly abundant is nasty, man. It really is nasty. So um the books that you're reading relative to leadership, bro, like I am here for that. Like we can do that. We can pick a book and and tackle that together because I know I was getting ready to say I think that, but I know
Yeah.
that in order for a brand to truly be built that sustains the test of time, it requires leadership attributes.
And
And
other leaders.
yes,
That's how
yes,
you multiply. That's how he summed it up in the latest book. He's like, you can't multiply unless you build other leaders on your team.
it's real.
Blue.
It's real. It's real. It's real. Yeah, man. All right. So look, what I'm gonna ask you before we close out, Ronnie, I'm gonna put this shit on the record. Send me a text of the book options that you're looking at right now, and I'll pick one that from that list, and we will add that to this piece because I want to continue to elevate myself, and every time that you and I talk is a forced evolution for myself because and I don't mean that in any kind of
Oh, I
negative
know.
connotation. Like the way that your mind is wired based on the experiences and the sacrifices that you have and continue to make, steel sharpens steel.
Yeah.
And every time that you and I talk, the steel is being sharpened. So to choose from a list of books that you're using to sharpen yourself only helps to reinforce the sharpening of those who have committed, not necessarily committed themselves, but who have decided to engulf on this endeavor with us by listening to the conversations that we have.
I appreciate it, man. I feel the same. So yeah, I'm gonna look through them and I'll text you about it.
My guy. So look, with all of the wild shit that's going on in the world, we all could be anywhere in the world doing whatever. For those who have decided to be here with us, understand that it is not taken for granted. In fact, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with us on this journey of steel sharpening steel. This has been another episode of the Authority Hour. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for coming out. God bless. Good night.